All right, welcome back. It's Bitcoin Advisors, bringing it to you here from Westlake Village, California, where we are seeing some major downside action in the prices. Open interest taking a dump, a long price action going down. So I'm led to believe this is mostly long positions taking profits or taking positions off. And again, this was a change in behavior. I did mention on Saturday that we should be open to kind of a new idea, i.e. a downtrend in place. And what did I say on a daily? This is Bitcoin on a daily right here. Let's point this out. We've got a lower high and a lower low. And now we've got another lower low. All we need is another lower high. I officially mark this as a downtrend, as a matter of fact, because we got lower lows and lower highs right there. So we do have a trend reversal, which we did say back on the 25th. As soon as we got this lower low, all we needed was another lower high. We got a lower high at 59,000. So there is a down trend in the daily for the first time in quite some time, and this is very likely to get a bounce here. Overall, I am looking for Bitcoin, but I am looking for Bitcoin to go lower. So we are likely to get a bounce. If we pull up our primary chart here, you can see the 200 exponential moving average coming in right here perfectly. This is classic. We're getting a bounce right there. But I don't, and do I think Bitcoin has, put in a macro top? Not just yet. With that said, yeah, I do think we're on sale right now for a moment, at least for buying the dip off the 200 EMA. And yes, I did already, and I did let some of that position go as it was a nice scalp, but now I did want to bring your attention to some of the funding rates, which are still positive, and until funding rates go negative, I don't think I'll be looking for the next major low. Remember, we did identify a few regions for some downside bias, right? We said if Bitcoin did break that 47,757, which we did right here, and we got to move all the way down to 42,000. And something I did want to bring up was the Bitcoin CME futures gapping down like this. This is very bearish, and you can see all of our momentum oscillators are turned down. We got the RSI down, and in the bearish control zone, testing that for the second time, and we've got stochastics pointing down as we've got historical volatility percentile expanding. So when the RSI touches into the bearish control zone for the second time, usually that's going to get some more downside action, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. And poor Elon Musk, I do sympathize with him. There's so much negative stuff out there about him, and it's like, how much can one person take until he says, okay, I guess I'm going to dump all my Bitcoin in your face. Anyways, I still do look for further downside here, as we did break below this level here, and we're trending below the bottom side Challenger band, call it 48,000. We broke that key point, and this right here is clearly a distribution pattern over here, and Wyckoff distribution, and it is resolving itself to the downside. But I do want to offer up some hopium, and this is Bitcoin on Bitstamp right here, and I'm going to throw it on a weekly chart. And why am I offering some hopium here? Well, let's just say if we look at this on a weekly, it's very similar to the 2013 market, which I'll bring us back to 2013 here. There's 2018. And where's 2013? Here's the 2013 rally over here. So as soon as we break to new all-time highs there, let's put it on. Where's an easier way to see this? Okay. As soon as we break 2013 highs here, excuse me. As soon as we broke out here, basically breaking above these highs right here, we had a nice, call it 1,200% rally there, right? And then what I think similar happening here is a retracement back from here down. We get about 50% move down over how many months? That's from April. Oh, what do you know? April to October. And that until we broke back above the topside Challenger band right there in October. So here we are in May. Do we get some kind of a, downwards action like this and then a big rally towards the end of the year? I think we could be doing something like that. And the other reason I want to bring this up is you can see during this, the RSI likes to bounce off the 50 to 55 region right here. You can put in these trend lines. This would be 55, and that's the 50 right there. And all throughout history, you can see that's a major basing point. See, here's the 55. That would be 50 right here. You can see these are massive bounces in the market, typically happen on the weekly in that region. And where are we at right now? Oh, we're just dipping down there to the 50 right there. So yes, do I think Bitcoin gets a bounce off this level? Likely. The other thing I'll do is I will put on this bearish retracement, Fibonacci retracement here. I'll remove that one and then I'll show it to you guys. If you take a look on the daily here, or let's do it on a weekly. From the top to the bottom, what happens here? That's coming in right here. Let's see what it looks like on a daily. So that's from the top to the bottom. So what happens in weak markets? Typically the bounces back up to right here at about 47,000. In strong markets, we'll get a bounce up to the 236. That's what I'm looking for, is a bounce between 47 and 50,000, somewhere there. And so in a weak market, it typically bounces to the 236 extension. In stronger markets, all the way up to the 382 Fibonacci retracement level. I think that's very likely that we do get a bounce right off this 200, and that'll play a nice for our analysis, so we know kind of somewhere to judge where the next kind of medium-term high might come in. And I'm going to throw it on Ethereum too. Just you guys only watch about 2 minutes of these videos anyway, so how does this work here on Ethereum? What would that look like from the top to the bottom? Let's say it's right here. So Ethereum gets a bounce back to 35, 3,600, somewhere around there. And something I did want to mention, also our Pi cycle top indicator, which did go off here for Bitcoin, almost calling the exact high of the market here. When was that? That was April 11th. That's when our Pi cycle top, that was when the top was in. Yeah, did Bitcoin rally up a couple more days after that? It sure did. But what eventually happened? Well, we're getting some serious downside action. And remember, this indicator has been dead accurate for the last, few years. Actually, the 2018 high, got that one. We can throw this up on the BLX index and just follow it back. But every time the Pi cycle top's been put in, we've seen some massive downside. And, it's just something, look, it's something I did not take the signal. Maybe I got caught up in the minutia of the institutions are here and all the Michael Saylor videos, getting brainwashed, but these are kind of some things that we can look at to form some biases, you know, why we might expect a little more downside. Back onto our primary chart. Actually, we're going to go to our secondary chart. And what I want to look at is the hash ribbons. Another very, very good indicator. And I'm not looking for any kind of a low to be put in until we see on the hash ribbons this blue buy signal right here. And usually, yeah, so bottom line, you can back test that one. The blue buy signal comes in, and then about 2 weeks to a month later, then Bitcoin begins to start to trend to the upside again. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that. And lastly, let's throw on, this is really hard to see right now, so I'm going to make it a little easier to see. But as long as Bitcoin is closing below this bottom side Challenger band, right? I'm going to be looking for some more downside. If Bitcoin can start to pop back above this top side Challenger band, close above this thing, I'm going to look for a greater bounce. Again, somewhere right in that fib extension around 50,000. Again, we can do this again. Just real quick, these fib extensions look really, so from right here, call it right here, right? So if Bitcoin bounces somewhere around, I'd bring that down maybe a little more. Somewhere, looks like 51,000, between 48 and 51,000. I don't have a specific target, but somewhere around 50,000. But overall, again, I am looking for something like this. And what does that mean for the altcoins? Well, let's take a look at the Bitcoin dominance here. Bitcoin dominance is at a 40. Let's take a look on a weekly here. So we did come and hit this macro region here. I would be looking for a bounce. So what happens when Bitcoin bounces? Likely, you know, against their Bitcoin pairing, altcoins go down. I would be cautious right now with some of these altcoins if Bitcoin does want to take another leg down, and you know, so just be very, very cautious there. But overall, what am I expecting for Ethereum? We get a bounce here as well. A bounce right off this level at 3,200. And if on, it's more on the 4 hour, so if we take a look on the 4 hour on our primary chart, you'll see it's bouncing twice off of this 200 EMA. Good indicator we're going to get a bounce here. If we can take out, you know, 3,600, I mean, where would I change my bias? If we can take out 3,800, I would be looking for, you know, probably some new all-time highs coming back. But until that's done, be on the lookout for the bear. And lastly, what I want to point out is thanks for coming on the show and checking it out. Give me a like and subscribe if you can. Hit that like and subscribe button. Forgive my sound here. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to get it all worked out, the sound, the lighting. Anybody who does YouTube, my hat is off to you. It is easier said than done. And we'll leave you with that. Signing out.